It's 12:36. You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Maryam Mkwanda, and it's time for our hit list. I know you've enjoyed the hit list on a Tuesdays, but we have decided to move things up a bit, and you can now enjoy it on Wednesdays at 12:30. So you've probably heard of Drip Footwear, Batu Footwear, and other footwear brands. But if you've not heard of Landlords Footwear, then where have you been? Have you been living under a rock or something? Well, they are one of South Africa's fast-growing footwear, and to tell us more, we have the founder and CEO, Rashid Thobega Stewart. Rashid, assalamu alaikum, and shukran for joining me. All right, it seems like we've lost Rashid there a bit, and we're going to try and get him back. And while we do that, if you have any comments or questions, you can send them to us on WhatsApp. The lines are currently open. The number is 061 and we are talking to Rashid Thobega Stewart, our hit list for today. He is the founder and CEO of Landlords Footwear. Landlords is one of South Africa's fast growing footwear, and they design their shoes from scratch and manufacture everything to bring this idea to life so that you can get a quality, locally made footwear. And they've managed to build a significant footprint across South Africa. And if you would like to know more, you can obviously Google Landlords Footwear. It's one word, Landlords. And I'm wearing my pair of Landlords right now. It's just that I'm not going to put my foot on the desk so that you can see. But yeah, I've got my pair. All right, so I think we have Rashid back. Rashid, assalamu alaikum. Must be the load shedding. Darkness is around us these days. All right, guys. Still, if you have any comments or questions, please send them to us. We would love to hear from you. We are trying to re-establish connection with Rashid, and we do understand that the load shedding might be affecting the networks, etc. So please bear with us while we try to sort this tiny problem out. Yeah, with ESCOM, it's stage 4, by the way. These things are bound to happen. And while we wait for Rashid, let's play a nasheed.
ربي أنت القريب على محارب من بعيد يا ربي
Okay, I can hear now.
بطشهم شديد آذوني ربي أنت القريب على محارب من بعيد يا ربي بطشهم شديد آذوني Allah, you know what I need when I'm praying down on my knees. I'm begging you, Allah, please take me to heaven. Heaven, please. No love, no friend, no one to lean on. You would have found me there alone. You're my only strength I lean on. Lost, now I'm found. The freedom we live for. I'm so thankful to be here now. My only fear is to lose control. ربي أنت القريب على محارب من بعيد يا ربي بطشهم شديد آذوني ربي أنت القريب على محارب من بعيد يا ربي بطشهم شديد آذوني Allah, you know what I know. You can feel it down in my soul. Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. لا تقل لوحدي أو كيف السبيل. Humanity sets the agenda.
Mkwanda, we apologize for the technical difficulties. You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Maryam Mkwanda. Our hit list for today is the founder and CEO of Landlords Footwear, Rashid Thobega Stewart, who is now joining me on the line due to some technical errors. Rashid, assalamu alaikum. Shukran for joining me.
Wa alaikum salam. How you doing?
Alhamdulillah, all good in yourself?
Alhamdulillah, always.
All right. Now, Landlords, one of South Africa's fast-growing footwear brand. How did it all start?
Yeah, it's just one of those crazy, I would call it crazy experiences that we go through in the country as a people, because it came out of desperation, when you're desperate to make something happen, and suddenly, I guess, what all the events occur, like Corona and all of those things that happened, and you are disturbed from that specific journey that you were traveling, and you are forced to jump ship and start something brand new. And I guess my love of fashion as well, I just love fashion. I love looking great. And initially, it was not even supposed to be a sneaker. Initially, it was a formal shoe brand, because I had made formal shoes for myself and my partner. But those were samples. But then along the way, we realized that, let us change the idea to making something that can accommodate the broader mass, because not everybody really loves formal shoes. And from there we just, alhamdulillah, just kicked it, and it blossomed.
All right, mashallah. Now, how did the design come about?
Well, the design, for me, really, I usually say, as much as I'm still a younger dude, I have that old soul, how I view things, how I analyze things. There's a little bit of some old school vibe to it with how I live my life. So I just wanted something that can reflect classic sneakers from back in the 80s, when the likes of Nike started out, the likes of Asics started out. The sneakers were more, the techies were more of a athletic. They were built for people that are doing athletics, for runners. So that's how it started. And we avoided doing too much political glamour on the sneakers. So we just kept it simple for everybody, especially the matured crowd.
And it kind of has that Onitsuka Tiger look. When you look at it, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that looks familiar. And when you started out, you started with the signature yellow sneaker. I mean, anyone that owns a landlord's a pair of sneakers has the yellow pair. Wow, why did you choose yellow? Like, of all colors, yellow.
Yeah, we dropped on the 9th of November. We made them available to the general public on the 9th of November 2019. And we were just, heading towards festive December. I guess to stand out, to be loud, to be visible. It would be better to give the people the mustard color, and that's what we did. So it was more of a visibility, being visible, being seen, being loud, being heard. For me, that the only one in the space. The competition is it's very aggressive. So what would make you stand out in the social media space if you upload an image? So we decided to go with mustard, which other people yellow, of course. Yeah.
And how has that been received since, going public and selling the first pair?
The first pair I sold it in Krugersdorp, and I think I sold the first pair to a gentleman from Mozambique. And I think the second guy was from Ethiopia. He's a shop, he owns a tuck shop. But then just by doing that, I realized that, okay, this thing actually can move, because the pricing was very reasonable. And it overwhelmed me at the same time. When you give birth to something, as much as you want it to be a success, when it exceeds your expectations, you are very conscious of everything, of this life that we're living, you are supposed to feel overwhelmed, not out of fear, but out of excitement and believing that, wow, it seems as if we're doing something right, alhamdulillah. And it's been very challenging at the same time, because a lot of times with entrepreneurship, people only focus on the wins, on the triumph, on the glitz, the beautiful suits that we wear. But within the same breath, the challenges were there that we had to tackle. But inshallah, we prevailed.
Okay, mashallah. Now, the name Landlords, it's interesting name. What's the story behind it?
As I said just a few minutes ago, very conscious person, heavy reader. I read a lot of books, various books, and I grew up. My father was an activist, very informed, street educated. I guess he educated himself. Now, automatically, for me, I've always been attracted to knowledge, and having everything around me has to have meaning. So with landlords, it just boils back to Rashid feeling that I'm born and bred in Africa, and I am supposed to portray those qualities that can resemble a great man who yearns to own his life first and foremost, who yearns to own his space, my environment. I need to be in control of it, and I need to establish businesses and just own whatever space that I'm in. If I'm speaking to Maryam on the phone, I expect Maryam to hold down his position on the other side at his workspace, to your position, add value to your space and be a landlord. And that's how it came to be, really.
Wow, okay. That's very interesting. Where do you hope to see Landlords Footwear in the next few years? Let's say about 5 years.
Inshallah, it's life. As long as we're still alive, as long as we're breathing, because life on its own is a very short thing. We believe that a few retail stores will be opened. Definitely a few retail stores will be opened, and employment, employing a couple of our brothers and sisters, especially young people, giving young people opportunities to tap into the retail space and learn as much as they can from us, and without exaggerating, even mentioning figures. But right now, the main goal with me, it's having a very strong online business. Before even opening a shop, we would like to make use of the digital space that has been granted to us, because it made things very easy for us before we can run to renting a whole lot of stores. But within the same breath, I'm not in a hurry to open thousands of stores. I would just like the business to organically grow and open a few stores specifically in Gauteng, major cities like Johannesburg and Pretoria, and just allow the business to grow organically without
Mm-hmm.
any marketing theatrics that I usually see when I'm out there watching from a distance with other
Mm-hmm.
businesses in the country. Yeah.
All right. We wish you well in that. Now, starting a business is not easy, and maintaining a business is
Mm,
even more difficult. There are a lot of youth out there with bright ideas, brilliant ideas, and they just don't know how to start, where to start, who to
mm,
talk to, how to go about with their business ventures. Now, what advice
mm.
can you give to them, to the youth or anyone who's struggling in business?
I've had a lot of businesses have failed a lot of times. I believe when
Mm-hmm.
you're young, I'm not saying fail intentionally, but if you are going to fail, fail hard, fail quick, fail right about now, whilst you're still staying with your parents, whilst you're still dependent on somebody, because this is an opportunity for you to learn as much as you can when you're younger. You you're still searching, you're still digging, you're still trying to find yourself in life. So it's okay to fail, and life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. A lot of our peers, we pressurize ourselves by obviously logging onto Twitter and Facebook and expecting to somehow a miracle happens. You want to mimic some people's lifestyles that you don't even know, and some other people don't even care about you. But you're so
Mm-hmm.
focused on being something that you are not, you know. So at the end of the day, the advice is simple. Perfect conditions are never there. You start with the little that you have. Funds are never there. You start with the little that you have. You can never say ANC doesn't want to fund you. It's wrong. It's not about what the ANC can do for you, but what you can do for the country, as it was said in America. And believe in yourself. There's a lot of things you can advise people to do, but at the end of the day, it all boils back to an individual. His belief system, his God within him is very complex. But the main thing, just kickstart it. Just go do it and fail through it. It doesn't matter. Eventually, you realize where you've been going wrong and what needs to be changed, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fail, and when you do fail, make sure that you learn from the failure. Don't just fail and then
Yes.
decide to close shop and start something else. And it becomes a cycle because you're
Uh,
not learning from that lesson. You just keep on failing,
yeah.
but you're not figuring out maybe I kept on
Mm,
eating the money instead of investing it or putting it
mm,
back into the business. So yeah, there are a lot of mistakes that we make as
mm.
business people, and so much that we need to learn. Now, where can people buy a pair or two of landlords?
Landlords, if you go on Google and say landlords footwear, landlords with your S at the end, landlords footwear,
Mm-hmm.
we will, obviously, the results will pop up. You can just go on some of our social media sites and just speak with us on social media. We will give you a response. And we do have a website, which we are also busy upgrading. This year, we are scaling the business. So a lot of things will be changed. We're teaming up with other companies to leverage on their skills and capabilities. So you can go on our website at www.landlordsfootwearsa. That's one word. Landlordsfootwearsa.co.za, and you can get your sneakers over there. And the current design, we have a sale going on for 500 a pair,
Mm-hmm.
but we only left it size 5 and 6 over there. Alternatively, you can WhatsApp us on 071 071 7555. Repeat it again, 071 071 7555. And yeah, inshallah, we will try our best, to give you, I guess, a great service. I always do that anyway.
All right, shukran so much for your time. Unfortunately, those who wear size 7 and above, this one is not for you. The sale is not for you. You can wait for your sale sites to come through. Brother Rashid, shukran so much for your time and for sharing that with us. I hope to see more colors in the future. I've got my military green on right now, so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to more colors. Inshallah, we're gonna leave that to you.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Shukran, Habibti. Stay safe.
All right, Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah.
That was Rashid Thobega Stewart, the founder and the CEO of Landlords Footwear, one of South Africa's fast growing footwear brands. And if you Google Landlords Footwear, Landlords is one word, you will find it. They have their signature yellow or mustard color with the black stripes, and also recently added the military green with the gold stripes. And you can purchase your pair today. Just go to www.landlordsfootwearsa.co.za. You are listening to the Good Morning Talk on Salam Media. We will be right back.